Are you unsure of your next step, kind of stuck because you're afraid of the reaction you're going to get from your audience? Are you holding back what you really want to do because you are trying to avoid the rejection or because you're really seeking their approval and acceptance? Yeah, me too. Welcome to Explore Your Enthusiasm, episode 182 with me, Tara Swiger. Today we're going to talk even more about rejection because you guys love it when I talk about rejection. I know how to have a good time. So way back in episode 171, which you can find at taraswiger.com/podcast 171, I suggested in that episode that you need to get a lot more rejection in order to have more success in your business. And dudes, you really liked that episode. I've gotten so many comments. It had so many downloads and shares, and just conversations have started where you said, I realized I needed to get more rejection and I needed to look for more ways of making this work. So today, I'm going to dive a little deeper into rejection. So it is one thing to seek and get straight up rejection from a specific gatekeeper, which is what we talked about in episode 171. Like to get into a craft show or to create a wholesale account with a shop, you have to ask someone and you have to get rejected. In order to make a sale, you have to ask someone if they want to buy, and you may get rejected or get a yes and actually make the sale, but you have to put yourself out there to make it happen. However, there is another layer of this. There are a lot of times when your fear of rejection from your own people, from the people in your audience, from the people who are supporting you, for the people who love you, fear of that rejection, like just a general, if I do this, they'll be upset with me or reject me or not accept me, that often holds us back. So maybe you're afraid to offer a new product, raise your prices, go in a new direction, stop carrying a product that's been a bestseller, or maybe you are just afraid to do something that someone somewhere might dislike. Well, you're not alone, because this holds tons of us back. Sometimes you're afraid of getting that rejection from the specific person you asked, but often you're afraid of just doing something and people finding out and then judging you for it. Or you're afraid of doing something and sharing it with your audience and getting nothing, or worse, getting mean comments or judgy emails in return. So when we're afraid of those things, it's very rarely the actual action we're afraid of, right? It's not that you're afraid to offer a new product. It's not that you're afraid to do a whole launch of your newest thing. It's people's reactions to you doing that, and you're afraid of their reaction. So we're not afraid of their happy or encouraging reactions. We're totally paralyzed by rejection, the fear that they'll reject us, rejection from our own tribe. This totally makes sense. We are social beings that need to be in community in order to survive and to thrive, and we need to get love and acceptance in order to be able to lead a happy life, in order to feel fulfilled and to feel creative. We need love and acceptance in our life, so it makes sense, total sense, to be afraid of losing that. The problem is that we don't need love and approval and acceptance from everyone in order to survive and thrive. And the more we seek that acceptance and approval from others who we don't necessarily need it from, the more restricted we become in our movements and in the risks that we're willing to take. So what's holding you and me back isn't a fear of rejection or a fear of failure. It's a fear that we'll lose the acceptance that we're seeking. So when you feel frozen or you are worrying about other people's responses, you need to stop and ask, whose approval or rejection am I really seeking here? What am I really afraid of here? And is this helpful or appropriate? So what I mean by appropriate is it appropriate to be afraid that everyone who follows you on Instagram will be happy with you, or to get the approval of every single person who follows you on Instagram? Well, that's not appropriate, because you're handing out your decision making and your next steps to total strangers that you don't even know and who don't know you. And that's not appropriate. It's appropriate to seek love and belonging from those who care for us mutually and who we care for and who we know and have decided to let into that circle of people whose approval and acceptance and belonging matters to us. So I'm just going to tell you, getting the approval and acceptance of everyone in your audience, it's not possible. It's just not. Trying to get the approval and acceptance of everyone who comes in contact with your work, everyone who sees it on Etsy or sees it in the gallery or sees it in the shop or sees it on Ravelry, that's not possible. And getting the acceptance from everyone who might possibly buy your work, like even from the people who are really going to like what you do and want to buy it, getting their acceptance every time, not possible. Not only is it impossible to make everybody happy, which we all already know, but it's really damaging to both you and your business. So on your end of things, it makes you doubt yourself, and your self-trust is your absolute best business asset and your best business advisor. Your own self-trust, your gut, your intuition, your sense of what is right for you and your business. And it makes you doubt that. If you're seeking outside approval, it casts doubt on that. It kills your confidence. It stops you from knowing you'll be okay even if you do the hard and scary thing. And it holds you back from taking the steps that you should take that are going to move you towards a life in the business that you really love, that you really want. It also kills your business because it holds your business back from the awesome things that others might not approve of, but a bigger percentage of people might rush to and adore. It makes your biz bland and boring, and it kills that sparkle that is the thing that attracts other people to you. When you worry about rejection or you worry about getting everyone's approval, you dull that sparkle and that shine. So the people who would totally love what you're doing aren't even attracted to it. They can't even find it. And look, I get it. I don't want anyone ever to disapprove of me. I don't want to get unsubscribes from my email list when I send it, or people stopping listening to my podcast. I don't want to get judgy emails telling me I'm wrong or I'm misguided. Nobody wants that. And I hate above anything else, and everyone who knows me will tell you, I hate to be misunderstood. That's why I talk so much, to over-explain. I hate to be understood, and I hate when people misinterpret my intentions and they assume that, I have bad intentions. I just hate it. It kills me. I want to explain myself. But friends, we are not going to get anywhere near our dreams, lives, or our dream businesses if we try to avoid that disapproval. If we live in a constant state of avoiding that disapproval, avoiding that rejection, if we seek to get 100% acceptance from everybody on the whole internet at all times, we're not going to get anywhere near the life or business that we want. So, every new step you take in your business is a risk. You've got to take those risks to succeed. But above all, you have to trust your gut and your good sense about your next direction and what risk is right for you. So instead of turning outward for your audience approval, or instead of turning for your mentor's approval or anyone else's approval, I want you to tune in to what you know the next right step is, to the next action that's going to lead you to where you want to go, to what the next direction is, what the next product is, what the next launch is. I want you to tune into what you know is the next right thing for you to do, and then go do it. Thanks so much for listening. I wish you an enthusiastic, action-filled, love-filled day.